What's going on today? We're going to be setting up a home lab with a laptop. Yes, it is the most accessible, the most power efficient, probably the most dollar efficient setup you can have. So here is the current setup. It is a Windows machine. And yeah, it runs some stuff I'm not showing you. But let's go over the game plan on how we're going to approach this, right? Laptop, used to have Windows. We're going to have Ubuntu. Yay! Now we have an 8 terabyte thing and have a little like AliExpress dongle doodad that will basically plug in with USB to SATA. Bada boom, bada bing, shadaisy, and a whop-how. You may be asking, couldn't I do Proxmox? Couldn't I do something else? Yada, yada, yada. I don't want to. I'm not going to run like 80 different services, and if I did, I can still run Docker on Ubuntu. So I'm just going to run it bare metal because I like monoliths, personally. I think there's less overhead and in between layering and bullcrap. Why not? So let's get started. So one of the first things we need to do is take this here USB drive, plug it in there, and we're going to put Ubuntu on here.
First, you'll want to open up an application called Rufus. It is one of the easier ways to get this going. Go ahead and plug in your USB drive. And I already have Ubuntu on here, but if you don't, you select an image, download your favorite ISO, and go ahead and just start with the default settings. It will probably ask you a bunch of questions. Just click OK. That's what I did, and it worked out. Next, we'll want to install this on the laptop. So let's go do that.
USB is plugged in to the laptop, which is a T440. So blah, 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 blah. Here is also the kicker. When you have your adapter, make sure if you're not using a 2.5 drive, if it's a 3.5, it comes with the power. Otherwise, it won't be enough juice to get those hard drives spinning. Cappuccino. Moana. Hey, baby. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, this has the slowest hard drive of all time as the boot up disk. So I know what you're thinking. Why don't you get an SSD? It's like $10. I forgot that this is so slow. And also, once it's booted up, I don't really care. Like, I'm not trying to get like max throughput here. I'm probably going to be limited by my internet connection anyway. So, I don't care. How about that? There we are. Perfect. So, here is what you do if you're just taking a generic laptop and you took all your backups and all your good stuff and you're ready to install. Just go ahead. Well, once we get there, just delete all the partitions until you have nothing but unallocated space and let it run the default. Normal install, third party. I like to check this for extra drivers. And hopefully, with any such luck, this thing doesn't crash before it gets to the next screen. I'm not joking, man. This thing fails all the smart checks. It doesn't even boot in the Mac. I have another Mac. Look, I won't get into it. It's a long story. But it doesn't allow it to work in there. So I have to use it in this Lenovo, which apparently allows failing drives to, be used. Or maybe it's more of a Windows thing. But anyway. Erase disk. Advanced features. LVM with this. Logical volume management. I am okay. I'm not going to really mess around with drives and too much of that stuff. Erase disk and use ZFS. Interesting idea. I don't know what it does. I'm going to leave it alone. Alright, erase disk and install. Sure. Let's go with that. And it will give you one last warning that things will indeed be erased. And there we go. West Coast is the best coast, indeed. We will brand this one as a Bytestash Homelab. I'm good with that. Super secret password. Log in automatically. Again, this is not like a high value production server. This is more of a toy home server. It will have a nice like long, I don't know, anyway. So I will go ahead and skip until the end of this installation process, and we'll pick it up from there. Alright, so we will set up all this live patch stuff later because we're not even connected to the internet right now. No thank you. Yes, I don't care about any of that. And then let's just go ahead and click done. Perfect. Step 1 complete.
Yeah. There she is, boss. There she is. The old... get this frickin' wire out of the way. The old 8 TB. Alright.
Alright. Anyway, so we got this going. Let's see if we can even get it to read on our machine. And then we are on to the software portion. Just about done. So, why don't I go ahead. Make use of that. Let's see what kind of voltage we're dealing with here. 12 volt 2 amp. Okay. Now, one downside I'm seeing right away, this is not very long at all, but I think we'll be fine. In fact, let's go ahead and make this a little bit more accessible. Dun, 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 dun. All right, so here is the final product. So we have the hard drive here, plugged into power, of course. We have the plug and everything here for the hard drive and the power. And then I went ahead and made sure that I have remote desktop turned on. So I can control it from my PC, and that will make it a whole lot easier. It is nice to have the keyboard, mouse, and monitor, like, in case, but honestly, like, wherever I am in the world, I will probably set up like a zero trust VPN type situation, tunnel, whatever, and make this accessible. So I'm gonna make sure not to, like, store tax information and social security numbers, but other than that, it's a fun little home server to play with. So from here, what would you do? You would install some software. So file servers, media servers. Plex is a really big one. Jellyfin is kind of better than Plex if you are closer to like the free and open software movement, and Plex is better than Jellyfin if you prefer to pay for premium features, yada yada. But anyway, hope you like this little like mini vlog. I wasn't necessarily Sorry, I wasn't necessarily going to record this, and then I was like, fuck it. So, bye.